let's talk about a couple factors that you need to consider to become a professional closer. Now, when I talk about a professional closer, I don't mean a salesperson or someone that has the skill to persuade. I'm talking about a closer, someone that's able to close every single deal. Matter of fact, every single customer that sits in front of you, they should buy today. There's no reason why they should go somewhere else. So a closer is capable and able to close every single deal. Now, number one, let's start with the mentality. Now, it's very important to have the mentality that it's a done deal, that you're going to do whatever it takes. You're going to go the extra mile. You're going to try to use every single tool that you have until you get a yes. Technically, you're not going to throw the towel. You're not giving up. You're going to keep trying until the customer says, let's do it. You know what? I'm done. Let's just do it. Might as well get it out of the way. So mentality, it's a done deal. You got to stay positive. You got to stay confident. Number two, you need to know every single closing tool. You need to have every single closing tool available. So just in case the customer keeps insisting on, let me wait, let me come back, let me do it some other day, let me think about it. You know what? I don't feel comfortable. Let me just come back tomorrow. It doesn't matter if they give you 100 rejections, 100 objections, 100 reasons not to buy. You have 101, 102, 500 closing tools. Matter of fact, you have so many closing tools that you're never worried about any deal. Now, if you ask me, what's one of the reasons why I'm confident in walking into salvaging almost every single deal? The key is that I have so many tools. I have so many tools that I could possibly use that it doesn't really matter what the situation is. That's the least of my concerns. My concern is, can they give me 10 seconds? Can they give me 30 seconds? Can they give me a minute? If they give me an opportunity to talk to them, it's done. It's a done deal. I will find a way to convince them. I will find a closing tool that's good enough for them to say, yes, Rudy, let's do it. Let's get it out of the way today. Matter of fact, you convinced me. But that's simply because I have all the tools. I have every single closing tool that you could think of. And if there's something that I don't have, then I try to come up with different tools as I go within the conversation. Now, if you have an abundance of tools, then you give yourself an opportunity to close almost every single deal, because the rejections, the objections are going to be almost the same thing. They're not going to change from one day to another. But if you know the closing tools and you know how to use them, then you can really set up a presentation, an aggressive presentation that's going to help you close the deals. So it's very important to keep that in mind. Now, your goal is going to be to learn every single closing tool, to study it, to practice it, to memorize it, to keep training and practicing on every single tool so that your execution level is so high that every single customer is going to get convinced. Now, remember, it's not only knowing the tools or understanding the tools, it's also the delivery, the execution. That's also very important. Matter of fact, that's probably the most important thing, because you may know that you may have the knowledge, you may know the information, but if you don't know how to execute it correctly, then you're not going to get your point across. So once again, mentality, you need to be aggressive, you need to understand, you need to believe in yourself, you need to assume that it's a done deal. And number two, you need to know every single tool. Now, the rest of this section is going to help you understand that there's so many tools that you could possibly use. Learn them, memorize them, practice, train, use all of them at the same time. Sometimes when I'm engaging in a very difficult situation, I may use 15 of them, one after another one, and another one, and another one. And I keep going until the customer says yes, or until I exhaust the situation and I determine that I'm not getting anywhere. But if you qualified the customer correctly and you confirmed all the information, the customer is going to say yes, because all these tools are meant for you to close a deal. Now, if you misqualified and then the customer technically was not ready, then of course you're going to exhaust the situation and you're going to end up rescheduling, but it's not because of the closing tools, it's because you misqualified at one point. So keep that in mind. Mentality, and you need to know every single tool that there's out there. regarding closing. You need to be knowledgeable, 100% knowledgeable as far as every single closing tool. So keep that in mind.